Tucker Carlson also doesn't understand capitalism, just like any other Republican. He doesn't understand it. Doesn't understand how it works. He just wants to be fucking mean to people. That's just a thing. Just a thing he likes to do. Have a good night, Tragically Ham. Just a thing. He's just like, hey, I fuck you, group of people. Pedrisi, thanks for following, by the way. So this is Tucker Carlson. This video is literally titled "Corporations Get Rich, Americans Get Screwed." Tucker Carlson on lockdowns. Again, the corporations getting rich is quite literally a symptom of capitalism. A direct symptom of capitalism. The same capitalism that you continue to support for no reason. No reason whatsoever. So let's watch this video.
What exactly is going on here in America?
He sounds like a cartoon cat.
And I'm not, we do a show every night, so I'm paid to think about it, but there's so much happening that it's hard sometimes to get the overview when you're caught up in all the details and people are, texting you this outrage or this abomination, and you sort of don't have a chance to pause and kind of add them all up. I grew up in a world where I'm 51, so America in my youth was really simple ideologically. There was the Soviet Union, which was left, and then there were the normal people who were right.
The Soviet Union? Yeah, okay. It's left, but like Stalinists are not what the left is. Why do they pretend that's what the left is? Are any of you Stalinists? I'd love to see if we have one in here. That'd be amazing. We got any Stalinists in chat? Raise your hand if you're a Stalinist. Yeah, I didn't think so. Not surprised. Not surprised. No Stalinists. Oh, really? You don't like tankies or authoritarians? Oh, surprise. Even Leninists aren't Stalin. I know, right? So what the fuck? He doesn't understand who he's talking to. Again, this is a big problem. This is a big problem. And frankly, sure, I blame Republicans, but I really, really blame bad communicators on the left. I really blame them. We need to be better at communicating. We will win elections and we can change this country. Please, for the love of God, get over your literature. It's fine to read it, but don't. They're scared of this shit for no reason, and you're like, I can educate them. Yeah, okay. It's the same meme as looking at those "I can save her" memes. You know what I'm saying? I can change him. I can change her. No, you can't. You can't do it. It's the same shit, dude. It was simpler back when you ignored and or didn't understand all the nuance of those particular viewpoints. True. I saw that happened. Sky Comet Fallen. You're late, but I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
And one side was for centralized control and communism, and the other side was for
freedom.
Capitalism and freedom and Christianity and all the good things. It was left versus
capitalism, freedom, and Christianity, all the good things. Look. You in my viewpoint, okay, we're going to disagree on this, Tucker. We're going to disagree on this. Surprise. In my ideal world, in my ideal government system, my ideal America, you're not going to have unfettered capitalism, my friend. Sticks and Hammer agrees with me, apparently, which is hilarious, even though he'd pretend to agree with Tucker Carlson, maybe. So you don't get unfettered capitalism, but you can have Christianity and freedom. In fact, you can have more of both. Just not in the government. You don't get to have Christianity in the government, you bitch. You suck.
Is right. And so it's with that framework that I kind of assess what's going on in the world. And I began to change my mind Memorial Day weekend when everything started to fall apart.
You also said something a while ago in one of your video reviews that really stands out. It was something like using Occams Razor as a catch-all is a detriment to those who want to learn. Yes, it really is.
And this group of people, this group of people kind of like all of a sudden flooded in the streets and started breaking things. And so I called a bunch of friends of mine who were there covering this, and I said, who are these people? I mean, there was this well-publicized death of somebody in Minneapolis, and that was the pretext. But obviously there was something bigger going on here, and I called a bunch of friends who were covering this, and I said, okay, what exactly is going on? Why are they breaking things and setting things on fire and hurting people? And he's like, well, these are avowed Marxists.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Vowed Marxists.
And they're taking on capitalism. And then allied with them is another group that hates law enforcement, and they're trying to end the rule of law. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Fucking wow. Wow. That's what he took out of the George Floyd is murdered. And what Tucker Carlson comes out of it with is the people in the streets that are angry are avowed Marxists, whatever the fuck that means. You take Marxist vows, apparently. Where do we do that? I've missed the boat. And then also the other people who hate the rule of law. No, they hate that the rule of law doesn't apply to law enforcement. Literally, all you have to do is keep police accountable, and 50% of the problem is solved. Literally 50% of the problem solved immediately by being honest when cops are shit. When cops are shitty and they do shitty illegal shit, you make sure that they go to prison. That's it. Or kept accountable in whatever way is viable at the time. I don't know. Whatever it happens to be. Lose their fucking job, be banned from police enforcement, be banned from the military, etc. That kind of shit. If you kill someone in the street just because you are allowed to wear a badge doesn't mean that that's justifiable. God, so stupid. Listen, I can handle all this stock standard conservative bullshit, but I refuse to believe that Tucker Carlson has friends. Enthusiastically grumpy. Thanks so much for the 4 months. He is a crap ass. I agree. Basically the same when Kaepernick kneeled, they kneeled due to racism, police brutality, right wingers were like, you're disrespecting America and the military. I know. It's like, just listen.
Like, radical leftists, nihilists, whatever, but they have an agenda.
Wait, radical leftists are nihilists? Okay, explain how nihilism and being a radical leftist are anything close to congruent with each other. I don't care about anything. I'm going to staunchly advocate for leftist policy. What? I don't care about anything. I demand health care or I'm going to riot. What? Okay, Tuck. Fucking idiot.
They're against capitalism and they're against law enforcement. Okay.
They don't know what these words mean.
For that, but it kind of made sense. So I watched this thing unfold over the subsequent weeks, and I noticed something really weird. The people who were against capitalism were destroying the smallest businesses in the country.
Oh my fucking God.
They were going after like pizza places.
No! They literally went they went after like actual corporations, and then police dressed as protesters tried to start fires. That's not even a joke. That literally happened. We literally, like, you know how the right is always like, false flag. Literal false flag things happen. Sky Comet Fallen. Thanks for giving one to Melaleuca. Lucia? Maybe. I'm a nihilist. I just understand what is actually as opposed to I hate everything stereotype. Wait. To I hate everything. No, not I hate everything. That's not nihilism. Nihilism specifically is just rejecting like fucking all meaningful principles and life is pointless. Life is Life is pointless. Well, is it pointless? It's pointless on a cosmic scale, but do you exist on a cosmic scale? No. If life is pointless, if you truly believe life is pointless, you wouldn't be part of this community. You wouldn't be. You're not a nihilist. Toss that out there. Phoenix Vengeance, thanks for the 6 months. B Wings, thanks for the 4 months. The Ender, I don't know if you've seen this, but it makes me crack up every time. Well, I'm not going to watch it right now, you fucker.
This evening.
Tucker Carlson goes to Chipotle. Well, yeah. Nihilism, the rejection of all religious and moral principles and the belief that life... Yeah, see, I said that. That's what I said. Yeah, there's definitely... You're true nihilism is definitely not a thing. I'm a sphere. My entire life is pointless. But it has to agree that life is pointless, profane priestess, and you don't. Because life has a point. If you agree with socially constructed values. Wah, wah.
And liquor stores. And camera shops, assuming any of those still exist. Dry cleaners.
He doesn't even know. He's like, I don't know any of the actual businesses that were burned, so I'm going to say camera shop. Fucking Tucker Carlson literally showing his ass, being like, I don't actually have examples. I will literally make this up.
And car dealerships. And I was like, okay, I guess that's capitalism, but in 2020 we have bigger examples like Apple and Google.
Egoism is what I assume most people that self-identify as nihilists are actually. That's usually what it is. Camera shop sounds like a cheap bootleg of Photoshop. It is.
Right? The richest people in the world are capitalists, purportedly. They're the tech monopolies.
Yes.
And not only are they not getting their windows broken.
Those are capitalists. What do you mean
they're not funding it?
They're not This is amazing. The tech companies are funding it. The tech companies are not funding it. Tech companies are not funding it. Tech companies are capitalizing on it. What?
So I'm like, wait a second. How are the anti-capitalist people ignoring the actual capitalists? And then I look over at the other group and they're like, we're against law enforcement. I'm like, all right, well, you can make the case that, not all law enforcement is great. There's the biggest law enforcement agency in America. It's called the FBI. And I think you could make a solid case that, they do good, but they've also, done some things for which they should be deeply ashamed.
Investigated the president, I guess, is that one? I suppose? Huh.
Because they were abuses of power, including things that I saw personally. So if you're against law enforcement, I suppose you're going to be calling the FBI to account for its abuses of power.
I think he thinks this is a gotcha for lefties, but yeah, fuck the FBI. That's fine too. We could say that. Definitely the FBI does fucked up stuff. I don't think the investigation of the president happens to be one. All cops are bastards, even the federal ones. Yes, true.
But no. Instead, they went after the beat cop, the guy who's paid $55,000 a year to trudge through the most dangerous neighborhoods in the country.
Oh, weird. Wait a second. Wait a second here. Do you think that someone ought to be more compensated for their work? If you actually support police, right? If you're actually a supporter of police, you would agree with how we want to do policing, which is law enforcement. We wouldn't call it police anymore. I don't know what it would be called, but fuck them. If you actually, so the way leftist reform on law enforcement works is we do want law enforcement for some stuff. There is an obvious need for, like, we can't self-govern just in the community every single time. It's not the case. Even if you did, that would still be a form of law enforcement. Law enforcement is a thing that I think everybody agrees we need. It's just the direction to which the American law enforcement has gone is bad. American law enforcement is incredibly militarized, and it's an antagonistic public body that uses its power for subjugation, and that's not okay. That's not what we want. That isn't protecting and serving. That's jailing and punishing. This isn't what the idea is. The idea should not be for punishment. Cointel Pro? I don't even know what that is. What you need to do, not abolish the police. Well, here's the thing. You're wrong. And although I agree with you in principle, the police needs to be gone. Law enforcement in general is a good thing, and here's why. You can have a situation where, say for instance, like a sexual assault occurs, right? What you want is someone there that can handle that situation. That is law enforcement. You want someone that says, okay, that is an unlawful act. Now I'm going to have a social worker work with the victim. I'm going to have forensics and stuff, making sure that we can make sure that the perpetrator of the event is proven to be guilty and all this stuff like that. And then we make sure that we have a trial, and then we make sure that we preferably we stop doing this punitive bullshit where we just go, you're in jail for this long, instead of addressing the reason you're in jail. They could still be in jail for this long, but like addressing the fucking problem. If the problem becomes addressed, then that person gets to go, and that's okay. That is very different from just like not having police. If you don't have police, literally you can't stop things like sexual assault. You don't want to live in that world. You can't stop a situation where you have domestic abuse. You don't want to live in that world. We do need law enforcement, but it's just different. It's more specialized. Like, I don't need traffic cops constantly sitting and being like, hey, you did a bad, but you do need someone to be on the highway in case of emergency. You do need, like, and I'm fine if you're still pulling people over for being like super, going 100 miles an hour and weaving in and out of traffic and maybe driving drunk and stuff. These are beneficial things that protect society and protect innocent people from the mistakes that other people make. This is fine. The degree to which they do it is fucking wrong. Like, he has his hand on his hip, on his gun holster while he walks towards the car. What's the reason for that? Well, the reason is because we have an antagonistic relationship with police, and then he thinks that because of the Second Amendment and the proliferation of guns, the guy in the car could have a fucking gun and could shoot him for some reason because maybe he has drugs in the car. So if you get rid of the drug war, I mean, what reason do you have to have the gun there? Like there's so many things that layer into policing and law enforcement, but the way police are now, fuck them. But that said, if you have an active shooter situation, I'm fine responding to that in a way that protects the community. I don't want a school to be shot up, but a school will be shot up at some point. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And because we know that crimes happen for whatever reason, you have to have some sort of law enforcement. But the way that Republicans want law enforcement is fucking archaic. It's ineffective. And frankly, like the beginning of this was, we need to understand that police are working class individuals, most of them. There's a reason that their job sucks. Part of it's because of the people that we hire. Part of it's, there's a huge systemic issue with the personality of people that you hire to the police, because there's fucking aggro cunts. But like, we need to move away from that. You need to have mental health checks. We need to, there's just so much expansion. There's so many things, dominoes we need to knock over before we can actually effectively reform police. Because if you still have reformation of police, but you still have a fucking drug war going on, it doesn't help anybody. You need to get rid of the drug war. You also need to have, like, medical. You need to have higher wages. You need to make sure that people, you need to address poverty, because that's the large part of crime. And you need to do this all at the same time, but you can't just do one without the other stuff, because it's all connected. And of course, Republicans can't look on systems like this. It's just really stupid. People can't fucking deal with this. Awful.
Arrest criminals, help old ladies, get cats out of trees, or whatever. Like, do the retail end of law enforcement.
That's not what law enforcement is.
This is a guy who may not have a college degree, who's not making any money, who has precisely zero power in American society, and this guy is the villain. Just like...
He's the villain because he uses his gun to shoot people or his knee to choke them out.
The random cop. Trust me, if you intersect with American law enforcement...
Bedreezy, thanks. I appreciate you.
You hope it's a random cop and not the FBI. I mean, he may take your beer, but he's not going to tap your phone or put you in prison for the rest of your life for a thought crime. But for some reason,
I mean, yeah, literally, Tucker Carlson has floated out the idea of bringing back the sedition acts. So, I mean, like, a thought crime? Yeah, I think maybe you are for thought crimes. Fucking asshole. This guy's a fucking fash. Tucker Carlson sucks, dude. Tucker Carlson is fucking trash.
People who were against law enforcement completely ignored this.
No.
And I began to realize maybe what they're saying isn't what they actually mean. Maybe they're not telling the whole truth about their motives. Maybe the people who say they're against capitalism aren't. Maybe the people who say they're against law enforcement aren't. Maybe this is part of a larger trend where the big things are getting bigger, the powerful are getting more powerful, and everybody else is getting the shaft. Maybe what we're watching is a consolidation of power, and maybe the people who have it are using these forces as their kind of shock troops in order to get what they want.
So right now he's saying... Remember when Jon Stewart embarrassed him so badly he got fired from Crossfire? I don't recall that. So what he's saying right now is that corporations, billionaire corporations, have too much power. Tucker, we've been telling you that as leftists forever. Forever. What? What? Yes, billionaires are bad. Why are you... Yes, they're bad. Not not single billionaires, but like just the billionaires. Just the billionaires. Oh my God. We'll watch the Tucker Carlson shit after. I'll do that. I'll watch this whole video. I don't even care. Jon Stewart on Crossfire? Sure. Is that whole video the thing? Or do I just watch that little part? Anyway, Tucker Carlson, he does not understand anything. This is so fucking bad.
So if you're a huge corporation, you want less competition. Monopoly is what you want to be.
You are literally asking for unfettered regulation, or unfettered capitalism with limited regulation. And when you do that, this is what happens. And then you're like, why did that happen? It's like, listen to everybody else. Corporations are bad. You agree with Bernie Sanders on this. God, you're stupid.
And maybe they're paying for these vandals because they know in the end it'll make them more powerful. This occurred to me in like June because I'm slow. And then I see the numbers. I see the money numbers, which are always like some of the most revealing numbers, but they're the ones we never talk about because somehow that's like irrelevant.
Sure.
Because when everything is political and everything is ideological, you kind of miss the obvious points, which is if you want to know who's in favor of the way things are, look at who's getting richer.
Okay.
And
how did you do in 2020, Tucker Carlson? Tucker Carlson net worth. Oh, weird. Strange. What do you think? What do you think, chat? Net worth 30 million. Salary 6 million. Oh, wow. Sean Hannity makes 29 million a year though. Wowzers. That's a lot. It's a lot of that. Who is Tucker Carlson's wife? Susan Andrews. Good for Susan. Anyway.
See the numbers, and you see that Jeff Bezos, who has been paying for this, has benefited wildly from it.
So Jeff Bezos isn't a capitalist. So can I tax him now?
you think, wait a second, maybe there's something else going on. So that's a long preamble to the following point. I used to see the world in terms purely left and right. And I was and will remain on the right. But I'm starting to think that's not exactly the way I need to understand what's happening in the world. Maybe it's a matter of the big versus the small, the powerful versus the powerless, the corporate versus the independent. And that's another way to put it.
It's authoritarian and libertarian. I mean, he's just so stupid.
The good versus the bad. People who want to think for themselves versus the people who want to demand you think the way they tell you to think. Maybe that's what it's actually about. So then I reassessed a lot of the things that I think are the worst about American society. And I began to realize those things aren't necessarily left-wing values. They're corporate values.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. This is a populist attempt at a I guess maybe Tucker is smarter than I gave him credit for. He's trying to talk class issues without talking about them. Interesting. He's trying to say, no, poor people. Hey, you come over here. You come over here because, hey, the left likes corporations. It's not very smart. So it's going to fail, and it's terrible because literally every left-leaning person is like, hey, tax the billionaires? Tax Amazon? He's like, no, Jeff Bezos sucks. But don't tax him. Can I tax him? No.
So if you're running a company, what do you want? Obedient workers. You want people whose first loyalty is to you.
No.
Who show up on Monday morning, who work through the weekend, who give you their all, who give you their lives.
Wow, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. If you run a corporation, what do you want? People to give you their lives. What the fuck? That's fucking gross. You should not like that. When he said that, you should have been like, hey, that sounds fucking bad.
And in return, you give them a paycheck, but you give them no loyalty and no promise of long-term commitment. It's a continuous one-night stand. You're just hooking up. You're being used.
Oof.
That's true. Contrast that with the relationship you have with the people you love, your best friends, your family.
Wait. Then he was like, that's a bad thing? Okay.
The people with whom you have like sincere, intimate, personal relationships.
Yes.
They're there for you no matter what.
Okay.
And when you get the diagnosis or you get laid off from your job or when things turn bad, when you have to wear a mask as you ride your bike or the world falls apart, those are the people who are there for you. Those are the
you have to wear a mask. There's a disease out there. Why are they so stupid? It's a disease.
People, you're freaking me out, dude.
That's his laugh? Wait, that's Tucker Carlson's fucking laugh?
Those are the people, you're freaking me out, dude.
What?
You're freaking me out, dude. This man's whispering sweet nothings to me from the front row.
Okay. All right.
Those are the people who care about you, who actually care about you. They're not the ones who are telling you, oh, we really care about you because of the way you look and we're on your side.
True,
These
Batty
people
Bell.
who
Fuck
are
'em.
actually on your side, who are going to loan you money or let you sleep on the couch or talk you through a tragedy in your own
Okay.
life. Those are the relationships that matter. They're the only relationships that matter.
Okay.
And they're almost never the relationship you have with your employer if you work for a huge company. I'm sorry, it's just true.
Yeah, that's true.
So what you're seeing,
Okay.
and you see it up and down in American society.
So Tucker Carlson's problem with big corporations is, first of all, they're left-leaning. That's bad. Second of all, they don't treat you like family. They treat you like an exploited worker. So he doesn't offer a solution to this. I have one. He doesn't offer a solution to this yet. Maybe he will in the last 40 seconds. I doubt it. But hear me out, Tucker. What about this? Let's just try this on for size. See if you like my idea, Tucker, on how to make sure that working for a corporation doesn't feel like you're being exploited in the way that you actually are. Here we go. Ready? Democracy in the workplace. Do you think he'd be for it? No. Collective bargaining. No. We can't have that. We can't have it. No. Okay. So what's the fucking solution? I don't know. Oh, weird. Tucker Carlson. I love Republicans. They're so stupid. I hate them for the same reason. They can identify the problems with capitalism and conservatism very accurately. They hate the same shit. And then when you give them an alternative, they go, but I don't want to. Very stupid. Oh, my God.
Is the triumph of the values of those people over the values that we hold and that made this country great. And if you're wondering why American families are falling apart, and if you're wondering why every directive you hear from Washington divides you from your family,
okay,
that's why.
Oh.
Because they want your first loyalty to be to them.
That was anti-capitalist as fuck. How do they listen to that? I'm telling you, these people would vote for me in a general election. My rhetoric would get to them.
Good call, baby.
Minus the pro-trans stuff. Sorry, transes. You're stopping me from becoming president. Damn you, living your life. Frick the police. Thanks for the 2 months. So is this entire thing that you sent me? Do we want to watch Jon Stewart? We can watch Jon Stewart v. Tucker Carlson. I'll watch that. Let's just watch it. We'll have a little mini thing here. Yeah, should be good. Should be good.